Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing my 186th Mezco Toyz 112 Collective action figure review, this time being of Leatherface. Now, taking a look at the front of the box, we can see a great poster-like image of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And if we turn the box around, multiple images and panels showcasing the figure in multiple posing positions with its different interchangeable parts and accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the new Mezco Leatherface. I think this guy looks so freaking awesome. I am so happy I picked this up because I've said before, I'm not a giant horror fan, but I love what Mezco's been doing with these horror icons, and I think they're just giving us the most coolest, best figures that we've gotten, and yes, in my opinion, even better than NECA. I know, don't bite my head off, NECA maniacs, but I just love these because I love the soft goods and things like that, but the soft goods do look great. I love the whole pinstripe shirt that he has going on here. I love how dirty it is. You can kind of see where it's like stained on the pocket and things like that. I love the loosely tied tie. I think it looks fantastic. You have the little bracelet right there on the wrist. The belt looks fantastic. That buckle looks really good. Some nice soft good pants and his nice boots just look really, really good, and those head sculpts are fantastic. I'll show you this a little better more in a bit here, but also just love the chunky body here, man. This dude has a gut. You could feel it. It's so cool, and this is a little more my personal shape. So I kind of want to get another one of these just to make a custom version of myself. Maybe have a Mezco-fied Batbomb82 running around. I don't know. But I still think this is very, very cool looking. And yeah, man, again, really stoked I picked this up. And we're going to take out all the cool things that he does come with. So moving on to accessories, we do have the circular base stand, which is always fantastic, and the clear articulated arm, which comes with every figure. Which I do love about this is it has that classic horror icons poster, which is great. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, America's most bizarre and brutal crimes, because this movie is, you know, semi-based on an actual true story. So I just love that, man. That is just so freaking cool to have that. We also do get a bunch of interchangeable hands, which are fantastic. Different types of gripping hands, different types of open palm hands for stylized posing, and different things like that. What I do love about the hands, and this is really cool, dude, I just love how like dirty and grimy they are. And you can see like he's done some nasty things with those hands. So I just love the paint detail there. That really works in this figure's favor. I just kind of wish that some of that dirt and muck kind of crept up to the forearms there, but that's a minor nitpick. But again, they still do look really, really good. We also do get some weapons and accessories here, things like a little bone knife with a little bone handle on it. We do get a butcher knife with some blood splatter, which I think is really cool. And then we also do get this really nice hammer, as well as of course, the iconic chainsaw. You can't have the chainsaw with a, you know, for the Leatherface here. That is his most iconic weapon or tool, whatever you want to call it. And then we do get a bucket of blood. Now, what I really like here, the bucket of blood is just so freaking cool looking. I love just how gross this thing looks. You can see it kind of looks like it's swirled blood in there. And it's really cool how they got that effect, because this is a clear resin plastic part that they put inside there and then just painted on it to give it that swirling effect. It looks really, really cool. Presenting that nice drip going down the side. So freaking cool. What I also freaking love, man, the chainsaw itself here. Look at all that blood all over the chainsaw, just looking awesome. I love the scratches and dirtiness of this thing. I mean, this is definitely a used chainsaw, so I do dig that. This thing does come with button cell batteries. There is a casing inside here, so what you want to do when you're trying to pry this whole thing off, this little black section right here will come off first. You can see where it splits. So I took my little tool here and I pried that off, and then you can pry off this whole thing and insert the batteries. That is because this thing does have a sound feature, and you'll see the little speaker on that side. So there's a tiny little button right there. If you can see that, that's a little button, so you can push that, so again, it's not the loudest thing, but it's pretty cool how they managed to pack in such a really cool feature for such a small item and accessory. So I love that, man. That is very, very cool. We also do get blood effects for this thing, so you can attach those in there's two different types of blood effects for the chains, and I'm sure you can use them for the other weapons as well. We also do get a tiny blood splatter effect for the hammer itself that just plugs onto the hammer directly. So I do love that, man. And you can get a two-handed grip with the chainsaw here. Just plug that in like so, and then let me switch out the hand for that, and then we get in this specific hand right here, and then you can get the two-handed grip like that, and there you go. And he is ready to go and just slaughter a bunch of people again, which I think looks super cool. You even kind of get the thing where he is like holding over his head, like he's ready to tear some people up or something, and I love that, dude. This thing's so dope. I really like this figure, honestly, a whole lot more than I thought I was going to. Next up, we do get 3 interchangeable face sculpts, which I think is fantastic. So you got the more standard Leatherface sculpt, which again looks great. All the detail in there looks fantastic. That really intricate paint, and I love how deep set the eyes are. And then the mouth just kind of looking all crooked with a little bit of his teeth showing. I think it just looks so iconic, man. And then again, so again, I'm not a big Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, so I don't know exactly what these heads, like when they were used, what they represented, what they are. I haven't seen the movie in forever, so don't hate on me too hard in the comments. So that like gangrene like a face skin, which looks really gnarly, like he wore a grandma's face with like the hair coming out and stuff like that. That is gross, and I love it, dude. It looks really good. But honestly, probably my favorite one is the one with the makeup done. It's just not done properly. It looks like a clown, but I dig it, man. And the hair looks wild. I think it just looks so freaking cool. These are just fantastic head sculpts. Now, to go with those different types of head sculpts, you also get things like his jacket, which I think looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this on camera here. I'm gonna take off the hands. I'm going to pull the arms back a bit, and we're going to slide those arms through the sleeves like so. Give them a nice tug like that, and then we can pull the arms forward. And as you pull those forward, you want to pull up a little more on those sleeves as well to really get them on there. Because remember, this coat, this is a separate piece. This coat really isn't supposed to fit him properly, you know what I mean? So the sleeves are going to go a little high, which is, again, how it's supposed to be, like that. And then you can have that look right there, which again, I think for a lot of people is going to be very, very iconic, which I think is really cool. But we also do get apron options. So you have the nice pretty little apron right here, then a nice blue and white plaid. Again, you can see it's a little dirty and stained and things like that. I think works really cool. I do like it a lot. But my favorite one, and for me personally, I love the bloody like leather like apron here for actual like just doing gnarly things, man. And oh my god, I just love the blood splatter. This does have a bendy wire in it, so you can like pose it around and curl it up however you want. I think that's super cool. So I think with this, and you'll see pictures later on, this is the look I'm going to have with him posed on my shelf. Okay, so now moving on to articulation. Let's see how this guy works. So the ball peg, we do have a ball peg at the neck there, and it does seem we have an extra ball peg at the base of the neck, so you could get a lot of good motion there. It does turn left and right, up that far, down that much, and then pivot side to side. So again, a lot of good motion there, so that actually works out really, really good. Arms can go all the way up and all the way down. up and out that far. That's really, really good. Rotation at the bicep, no butterfly joint. We do get double jointed elbows, rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge at the wrist. That works out very nicely. And it does feel like this upper torso area is a separate piece within the ball joint connected to the belly here. So it does kind of feel like you can rotate that around. Same thing with the belly going into the crotch. So you got double ball pegs in there rolling around a little bit. Turn to left and right, crunches back and forth. A decent amount, could be worse, you know what I mean? Crunches back, forward a little bit. You can see his belly kind of sticking out there a little bit, so that's kind of cool. And then pivot side to side. Hip joints to kick forward that much. Back, not so far. Splits out about that much. Rotation, upper thigh. Double jointed knees. Boot rotation. Ankles, they're on ball pegs, so they go up, down, rotate, roll around. Everything you're going to need for this guy. So honestly, the articulation, not that bad. It's actually pretty decent for this chonky dude. And I don't know how dynamic you want to get with a Leatherface, but I think you can get enough poses to where he's going to be able to slaughter all your characters on your shelf just the way you want. I think he's awesome and a ton of fun. And if you're a Leatherface fan, he is definitely a must get.
So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the 112 Collective Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Mezco Leatherface. Now, horror fans have been waiting for this figure for quite some time now to see really round out some of those top slashers of all times, and of course Leatherface is that. And I think Mezco did not disappoint. The articulation works decently well, even for a bigger dude like him. He's hefty, he's badass, and totally psychotic, and I love that. The details in the soft goods, how they made him look dirty and bloody, things like that apron are so well done. But man, those three head sculpts are fantastic. In my opinion, you can't go wrong with either of those, no matter what you choose, and I can really see people picking up multiples of these just to have Leatherface displayed in those different ways, which I think is really cool. You got great accessories, great blood effects, which is so dope, and man, I love that chainsaw. The fact that they were able to get in that sound effect in such a little item is really impressive, man. So again, for me, I'm not a giant horror guy, never really have been, but this has got to be one of the best horror figures that Mezco has put out in recent years, and I think he's just so good. Whether you're just a really awesome action figure fan, a Mezco fan, or you're a giant horror fan or Leatherface fan, I think you will love this piece, and I think he would look great in any of your collections. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.